What's up, guys? Welcome to Aushoopers TV. Thank you guys if you're joining us again. Remember to subscribe and follow us on all platforms. Today, we've got a very special guest on us, the youngest person to ever be on Aushoopers TV so far, Rocco Zikarsky, 15-year-old, year 9, 7'2", probably the most exciting young prospect coming out of Australia right now. Everyone's got their eyes on him. So yeah, we're excited to see what he says and what he's got to say and kind of pick his brains. We'll get straight into it. What's up, Rocco? How you doing?
I'm good. Feeling good.
For sure. You just came off a huge under-16s nationals tournament up there in Darwin. How was that?
Oh, it was tough. Obviously, New South Wales and Victoria weren't there, but I got to verse some talent around Australia, and it was good to see where I'm kind of based and where I'm at against other competition.
For sure. There was a few comments around. I don't know if you've seen on different pages about Vic and New South Wales not playing, and that championship had a little bit of an asterisk on it. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think you guys would have cleaned them up?
I think it would have been a bit closer, but I still think Queensland South would have came away with the win.
For sure. I'm team Queensland South. I'm based around these ways, so
I'm outnumbered in this one, so sorry, Reese. I was just gonna say, Rocco. Obviously, like, I don't know if did you listen to the most recent episode, man, where we were speaking about you? I don't know if you heard it.
Oh, I did. I saw one of them.
Yeah.
That was with Will McDowell-White.
Oh yeah, even after that, me and Reese, we speak like weekly just about upcoming things and basketball news that's been happening in the week. And one of the biggest things we spoke about this last week, you should check it out. We do like a segment on you and we just spoke about your future and everything like that. And that's why we thought it'd be cool to get you on now. And one of the things we spoke about, something that I want to touch on and just pick your brain on, man, like obviously being 7'2" and being 15 years old is it's not the norm around here, you know what I mean? So naturally what comes with that, being good at what you do and being so elite, is some negativity and some hate around that. People just don't want to see people succeed. That's the bottom line of it. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you handle that type of stuff that comes your way? I know it's probably going to give you thick skin as you move into your basketball career. How do you handle it, and how does that affect you, man?
Yeah, I think I've had hate pretty much ever since I've gotten into basketball. I've only been playing about 4 years, and there's always someone telling me that I'd be nothing without my height and stuff like that. But I think out of everything, it more just motivates me to just show them that they're wrong and that there's more to it than just height. Like, I can move, I can do all that, but everyone always seems to pick out height, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's like that, isn't it? And I think it's like one of those things for me. It's like I'm with it, man. I agree with that. It's a good way that you just said it. Like, people just love to pick on something and they don't want to give credit when credit's due. And everything you just said about your moving and what you do at your size, I think is pretty impressive, man. And I've been impressed with it for a minute. So that's something I wanted to just get across to you. That I'm impressed. From a coaching standpoint, you'd be like the number one pick in the under 16s for me if I was drafting the team. So,
Sure.
Keep doing your thing, bro.
Why do you think these, like, it'll be grown men and stuff like that that'll be hating on you? Like, I can understand. I was talking to Hesh about it before. I can understand, like, maybe if they had money on the team or if they support the team and stuff like that, but there's no real, like, strings attached to the under 16s comp. So I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe they're jealous.
I think it's more just like jealousy. I mean, there's no one else in Australia who's 7'2" at my age.
No.
And it's just kind of like people like to bring other people down, especially when someone's out there, like especially the Victorians. I know this is bad to say, but
No, say it.
the Victorians are always hating, but they never really get their chance to back themselves up because we've never played them. And I think it's funny how they always talk, but they don't really like. Oh, I wish I could have played them. That's all I can say. I wish I could have played in the tournament.
We love that.
That's dope.
Yeah, for sure. Touching on what Hesh said before, I feel like you move really well for your height and size. I filmed a couple of your games, TSS. Obviously, you versed the game I filmed. You versed the TSS Opens team, which ended up winning the state school competition.
Yeah.
especially at a young age, these guys that are in the top rep teams, like 6'8", 6'9", big guys, I feel like they aren't really coordinated and quick. I feel like you're very quick move up the court. Is that something you've always been good at, or is it something you've had to work towards, whether that be training, cardio, whatever?
Well, I've worked a lot with Acceleration Australia and stuff like them, and I think the very early years of my development was just solely working on keeping my ankles healthy, keeping all my joints healthy, and being able to move rather than being able to play actual basketball. And I mean, cardio fitness has always been there. I've been swimming since I was a young age. So it's all kind of been there. I think just adapting it to basketball, I've been able to do pretty well.
For sure.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. So talk about your height a little bit and your growth spurt. Were you always tall, or did you shoot up randomly? You hear NBA players all the time. They're like, yo, one summer I just shot up 7 inches from 6'1" to 6'8".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What about you?
I think back when I was maybe 12, I had this one holiday where I grew maybe around 3 inches in a span of like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always been tall. My whole family's tall, so I never really realized it till I went out to like school and figured out that not everyone's 6'8" at 15. Like, that's not normal. But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's dope, bro. It's definitely gonna put you in good stead. Obviously, it's a blessing on the basketball court, helps you out. How did you feel like you played in this recent tournament, personally, from a personal standpoint, individual standpoint?
I think I played pretty well. Obviously, like it was different to what I was used to because local comp here, no one's really like it's competitive, but you go to nationals, it's a whole different level.
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of like preparing for that and just like playing there was surreal. And individual performance was pretty good, but yeah, that's about it.
Talk to us about your decision to go to BGS. Now, I don't know what I've heard, but through the grapevine, for those who don't know, for those listening, BGS doesn't have the best track record on the basketball court. But this year, Rocco and his teammate LeBron, who are Queensland South teammates, obviously BGS teammates, and Northside teammates, they decided to go to BGS. I don't know how many years is it they haven't won a game before you guys rocked up.
I think it was around 5 years. So
five seasons.
I think when Mojave left in grade 8, I think they've been on a continuous losing streak since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good to get them their first win for sure.
For sure. You obviously took down Terrace, which is one of the biggest schools here. So talk about joining BGS and how this past season in BGS has kind of affected your game.
I think the decision was more based against the academic standpoint. Like, they're a super academic school.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much talent, but there's potential in the program to kind of go further than what we've ever gone. And I think my mum wanted me to go there because of swimming academics, and I thought that maybe me and LeBron could make something happen this year at BGS. We knew that it was going to be like a couple of years before we did something crazy like a premiership, but it was good to get them their first win here, for sure.
For sure. We'll get into your early life and junior years. For everyone that doesn't know listening, tell us about your junior years of basketball. When did you start playing?
Probably around 11. I started playing school basketball.
Yep.
Didn't really enjoy it. I only played because people told me I should play because I'm tall.
Yeah.
But I think my first proper year was under 14s bottom age. Yep. Rip City down at Sunny Coast. It was a tough year, but I think it was a year that was really beneficial just to kind of like get into that mindset, and I just started falling in love with it there. Like, my junior coaches, Rachel Mirabella, Lance Hurdle, those kind of guys were really good to me and kept me in the sport, I reckon.
You just said your first rep team was Rip City. What made you trial for rep?
I think I was so school basketball started. We played maybe 8 games that year. Sure. I got approached by someone at Rip City saying that I should try out for a rep team. And my first, I did play maybe 2 minutes on a basketball court at under 12's bottom age.
Yeah.
But I never got any court time, so I kind of just left. And yeah, I kind of just got approached because of my height. That's kind of how many things happen now.
For sure.
Yeah, that's dope, man. You just mentioned it yourself as well that you're a swimmer as a junior. How big a part of your life is swimming now? And talk to us a little bit about swimming and how that started.
So my dad, he's a Olympian at the Olympics. My mum's a world ocean swimmer. My brother's a national medalist in swimming. So I've grown up around swimming since I was born. I mean, right after state champs, which I know Reese was at, I went to national swimming right after and was able to win a gold medal in the 50 free. But it's played a big part just in like staying injury free, keeping up the cardio, and it's just like that missing piece that I haven't been able to be swimming for a while, and it's kind of need to get back into it.
But let me ask you real quick, what's number one priority at the moment?
I think basketball. I mean, especially after nationals, I realized how much basketball can open up for me, and how much like chances and opportunities I've been given for basketball. Whereas swimming, it's been progressive, but it's been a really long time. I think basketball has taken a upper hand right now.
What part of your game right now are you working on? Right now.
I think just like shooting.
Mhm.
I really want to get consistent from outside of the keyway, even stepping out onto the 3-point line a little bit.
Yeah,
Just kind of working on that and developing that.
for sure. That'll be tough. That'll be pretty unstoppable.
With the strap, that's what we want.
Sure. We'll get into your future and stuff like that. What other professional goals do you have for yourself within the sport? Where do you want to go with basketball?
I think one of my main goals is to play professionally, whether that be here, overseas, United States, anywhere. But obviously, there's a bit more to it than that. There's a lot more years, but I think my ultimate goal is to play NBA.
What was I gonna say?
What about outside of basketball, man? You seem like a pretty switched on kid. Obviously, academics is a big part of your life too. Is there anything that you're interested in studying? What do you want to do with your life outside? What do you do? Like, what are you interested in with that?
There's not really much to my life outside of sport. It's just school sport. But I really enjoy like statistics and stuff like that. And if basketball or a sport doesn't work out for me, then I want to kind of dive into a mathematical kind of field, wherever that is.
Sure, tough. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was just saying to them, if you were over in the US, I think there'd be like, high school phenom status, because you don't get 7-footers that are like 14, 15, even over there, especially over here. So like, it's kind of crazy to think about, I think eventually you'll probably get there. So we'll see. We'll get into our 10 quick questions. We do this every week for those who don't know. It's rapid fire questions. You can answer these at your own pace. First one, what are you appreciative of? Can be anything.
Family and coaches. Sure. I think they're a big part.
Nice. What about favorite NBA player and why?
Giannis, just the way he's able to, go down the court in 2 dribbles and go down and dunk it just amazes me.
Yeah. What TV shows are you watching right now, if any?
Probably Formula One, Drive to Survive. Pretty entertaining, but yeah.
Are you on Team Ben Simmons, or are you kind of not on his team right now?
I think I'm a little in between. I think it's a bit childish that he's not showing up to training camp, but it's his decision ultimately.
For sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Favorite NBA team and why?
Lakers. I like their kind of their environment, the way they play. I've been to only one game, and that was Lakers. But yeah, I like the environment. I like the players, and just
For sure.
Nice. That's cool. Who's the most underrated player you know?
Raheem Chowdhury, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's a short guy, but he's fast. really good at defense and just does everything that no one else wants to do. Just gets buckets.
Sure. Hardest player you've gone up against? The toughest?
I reckon Josh Hughes or Elijah Kanu.
Yep.
Two big boys. I mean, Josh is 6'10", Elijah's 6'7" and big. They're just tough to play against, especially I haven't played against Josh in maybe a year and a half, but when I played him, nightmares. But Elijah, super talented as well.
Yeah, nice. And who's winning the NBA 22 season?
Gonna have to go with Bucks. I reckon Bucks.
Oh, I was just gonna say, you gotta say Lakers. You go for Lakers.
With the amount of, they're all right, but I think they're a bit too old.
Yeah. Who's your favorite coach of all time?
I think it's Rachel Mirabella in first. Oh, like is my coaching or?
Yeah, your coaching.
Rachel Mirabella close, and then close second Lance Hurdle. Those were the guys that got me in, got me involved, and Rachel took me to the next level, and Lance was just there from the start.
For sure.
Awesome, man. All right. This is a setup question here. I want the answer that I want to hear, but up to you how you want to answer it. Who's the best upcoming young gun in Australia?
Me.
Yeah.
As bad as that sounds, I think that if I'm able to develop how I want to and how I think I will, there's not many other 7'2", 15-year-olds out there. And yeah, there's some talented guards, but there's talented players all around. But I think that 7'2" is a hard feat to get to.
For sure.
I've been trying, bro. I'm still not there. I'll tell you that much. Right? So, I respect that. It's a good answer.
Great answer. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We appreciate you for joining us, Rocco. We're going to follow your journey. I'm sure everyone will. One of the brightest young guys coming up, and I'm keen to watch you throughout the next couple of years and see how you develop.
Yep. Thank you, boys.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on Aushoopers TV. We really enjoyed that episode. Rocco's got a bright future. Are we seeing him in the league in a few years?
100%. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Rocco is going to be, I don't like to say these things. I'm not trying to apply pressure on him or nothing like that, but just the way I said it from the start, like height, obviously, like I'm not big on like, he's 7'2", he's going to make it. But then you combine that height with the way he moves, his passion, and then his head, like he seems like a switched on kid. And you guys just heard the interview, well spoken, well put together. He's self-aware. I think he's got a future. And whatever he does, dude, anyone that's 7'2", national level swimmer, national level hooper, and then wants to study mathematics has a future, bro. I don't care what you say, dude. That's crazy. That one's a kid, man. I'm hoping for the best for him.
For sure. What do you reckon the best route for him is? Do you reckon he heads down to the academy if they snatch him up, or do you reckon he stays here and try and works on his game with an individual coach?
I mean, it's a personal choice, I guess. I've known some talented guys that don't go through the academy, don't go through COE and make a name for themselves, and they get over to where they need to go. And then some people choose to go to the COE. I think if he has a solid team around him and surrounds himself with the right people, then he'll be able to get where he needs to go. And especially with the opportunity these days with just the close-knit community amongst basketball, I'm sure there'll be high schools and things reaching out to him from the state. So that could be an option too. That he just gets over to high school and does that route. Who knows? 1,000,001 permutations and combinations. There's a word for you, Rocco. Maths word that he could use. I just hope that he gets a chance to show up.
Sure. I'm excited. I'm keen to watch him. Nice. Hopefully he doesn't go to the academy too soon, because then I don't get to film any of his games. But yeah, we'll see. I'll see him at Nationals tearing it up. 100%. Hopefully bringing Queensland some chips. We appreciate you guys for joining us. Make sure you're following us on all streaming platforms. Make sure you go follow at Aushoopers TV on Instagram, and we'll catch you on the next episode.